Buckle up, sports fanatics. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast, your HQ for in-depth sports talk. Join host Kevin L. Warren and crew as they dissect the hottest stories, ignite debates, and bring you closer to the action. From locker room whispers to expert takes, we cover it all. It's game time, so strap in and grab a drink. The Sports Chasers Podcast starts right now.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing okay. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Chasers Podcast, coming to you live and direct here on a Thursday night. The Thursday night edition for the Sports Chasers Podcast, coming to you live and direct, man. Hey, we got a lot to get into tonight, but before we start and get into stuff, hey, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell for all the notifications. Also on the podcast side, y'all give us that 5-star review, 5-star review. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast. Make sure you join the chase along with us. Like I said, college football is on tap. We're going to talk about that. Looks like Notre Dame just defeated Georgia. We'll talk about that. But before we do all that, let's meet the crew. Dan is with us. Dan, what's going on tonight, brother? How are you, sir?
Doing good. How's my SEC teams doing? High tide. High tide. Let's go.
Ooh, the toxicity is on fire. It's not even less than 2 minutes in, but I'd rather you say that than the other bad words. D-Dubs, what's up tonight? How are you, sir?
Yo, what's up, man? Back at it. Yeah, man. Shout out to Notre Dame, man. Hey, I thought Georgia was going to beat them, but Notre Dame played good, so
I did.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. I didn't get a chance to see all the game, but we'll do some cliff notes on that. We got the DA. DA, what's up, sir? How are you tonight, sir? How you feeling? How's everything going on with you, sir? Glad to see you. He said he can't hear us. I don't know if he's playing or not. You can't hear us? DA, we should be able to hear us. Let's see. Well, we'll get into it tonight, man. So like I said, we're going to be talking about college football. First of all, thank you for all those that are watching here on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. I don't think we're on Instagram tonight. X. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We got a lot on tap. Like I said, we're going to talk about college football. We're going to also talk about some of the NFL stuff that's coming on. The NFL is going to week 18, so we'll talk about that. Dan is going to enlighten us about hockey, the power rankings, the Winter Classic that was on this past believe New Year's. What was it? New Year's Eve. Dan. We'll talk about the Blues and the Blackhawks. I think that was pretty cool. The Blues taking the train to Wrigley Field to play that game, man. I thought that was pretty cool promo, man. So we'll talk about that. We also got Ryan. Ryan will talk about the NBA, what's going on with the NBA, and I want to ask him some questions about the Sacramento Kings. Yes, this channel, absolutely, we ask questions besides the obvious, the Lakers and all that stuff. You can go to the other places to get that, but yeah, we'll do with Mike Brown, man. Mike Brown was there. Looked like he was trying to turn it around, and they fire him. It looks like, my opinion, it looks like there was some accountability he was trying to do, and they ain't like that. So
looks like he got turned around.
Man, so, but
he got turned around. I think they turned him around. But who am I?
But yeah, man, it's definitely a thing, man. So, like I said, college football was on tap this weekend, and like I said, Notre Dame just defeated Georgia 23-10. We'll say that for last because we really didn't get a chance to do that. But let's go to the first game of the weekend of Boise State, and looks like here Penn State, as y'all see, Penn State, is number 4. They defeated Boise State 31-14 from CBS Sports. And Penn State defenders clogged every hole, stressed out every outside run, closed with ferocity everywhere that Ashton Jeanty turned to. He ran into Nittany Lions, the Heisman Trophy runner-up, still went over 100 yards, but he sure had to work for it. Drew Aller threw 3 touchdowns passes, and number 5, Penn State bottled up Jeanty for a 31-14 win over number 8 Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl on Tuesday night, earning a spot in the college football playoff semifinals. We knew he was going. We knew who we were going against. We knew who we had to have hats to the ball every single play, because every play he would break one. Said Penn State's safety Zaki on Wheatley, who had an interception and recovered a fumble. We did the whole game. The Nittany Lions, 13-2, CFP number 6 seed, opened their first CFP berth with a blowout win over SMU and appeared headed toward the latest lopsided victory in the new 12-team format by jumping out to a 14-0 lead against Boise State. But the Broncos have relished the role of underdog, going back to when their brand went national in electrifying 2007 Fiesta Bowl, and they had an answer. Boise State galloped back from their early deficit, trimming the margin to 17-14 early in the third quarter, momentum seeking seemingly on his side, and Penn State turned the tide for good. Allen threw his second touchdown pass for the night, and John Mackey, the night to John Mackey Award winner Tyler Warren and Nick Singleton's burst up the middle for a 50-yard TD, sending the Nittany Lions to the January 9th Orange Bowl against, it looks like, Georgia. So next week in South Florida. Notre Dame. I'm sorry, Notre Dame. Yeah, against Notre Dame, which just beat Georgia, like I said, 23-10. So this game had a lot. Let DA. Oh no, he's this game. That game, people was talking junk about Jitney, but he wound up getting 100 yards. And he plays against. Listen, I hate for people. This kid, he played who he played against. It's Division I football. Okay. He was less than how many yards was he less against from breaking Barry Sanders' record? I don't understand some of the hate. I mean, I hate that word, but you know what I'm saying. But he played a better team. Penn State was a better team. Boise State, we've been talking about these playoffs, how some of these lopsided wins and how they need to do some reshuffling and reseeding or seeding on how they. And clearly, you just need to absolutely just do it for RPI purposes. I don't know. Dan, your thoughts on Boise State and Penn State? Shout out to Penn State. They got the victory. So
I will say this. You could say, oh, they got blown out. But this game was actually closer than it was. And the mistakes and miscues at the end of the game by Matson is kind of what hurt them, turning the ball over. Right. I think he was 23 of 35, 304 yards, a TD, and 3 interceptions, and got sacked 3 times. Gentry, he had 30 rushes for 104 yards, and he had a couple where he did, he had a long of 26, but I think he broke a couple. But like you said, Penn State's defense reminds me kind of the Steelers in the way that they shut the run down. There's only one player that got 100 yards against them all year, and I believe that was the kid from USC. But other than that,
correct,
they pretty much shut down every running back. And, their quarterback was struggling for Boise. And, they all know he's getting the ball. But it was one of those things where, they kept running him, and later in the game, he started to, get positive yardage. I think he put the ball on the ground twice.
Yes.
And the turnovers is what killed Boise. I think, because at 100%. One point, what was it? It was 14-7. And then right before half, Penn State kicked the field goal to make it 17. And then they came out and they made it 17-14 in the third. I believe that was their first possession of the third quarter. Boise got the ball off the rip and went down and scored. So they were only up 3 points. But, that's when the turnovers and the late interceptions kind of just, deflated them. But to say it was a blowout, I don't buy that. Because going into the fourth quarter, it was 24-14, a 10-point game.
I just never thought it was close. I didn't feel it looked close, but I didn't feel like Boise State would ever, overcome their deficit. That's just out. So I retract what say not blowout, but I just never thought they was going to overcome and beat Penn State, especially when they kept turning the ball over. The 3 interceptions, like you said, was deadly. It's you can't do it, especially during this time of the year, and they gotta work better at it, man. But they like you said, they made Genty work for those 100+ yards 30 times, and like you said, Dan, they bottle up the run, and hey, stop us any. We're gonna stop him. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say on the flip side, Tyler Warren, the tight end for Penn State, is an absolute beast.
Yeah,
he's a pro.
Yeah, Penn State turns out pretty good tight ends if you go down in history. Yeah. So, DA, your thoughts on Boise State and Penn State? Shout out to Penn State with the victory.
Yeah, it was what it was supposed to be. It was what it was supposed to be. Boise State is a team, and Penn State's a program. It's a different level of players. Gentry's a good running back. He'll probably be the first running back off the board in the second round. Yeah. He runs very hard. He's very fast. So he does both. I got a lot of his season was really good. He catches the ball out the backfield. He does everything you want for a wide receiver. He's like the cat in Texas that went to the cat from Texas that went to Atlanta. Right. So he's like that. He probably had a better college career than that kid. But if he goes to the right team, it's like a quarterback, and they're going to use him. I think he'll be just fine when he gets to the NFL. So, whereas I think Scatterbooty, what's his name?
Scatterboo.
Yeah, from Arizona. He's super duper. I think he's a super great college player. I don't think he's fast enough to be a great NFL player unless he goes to a team that actually uses a fullback or an H-back, which is the position they used to call him, and they run some things from him because he can't run into people the way he did in college in the NFL. He is not big enough to do that. But if he has a coach that's a visionary and knows what to do with a running back, I think he'll be just fine. There's just not many of those guys. And he'd probably be a demon on special team. Oh, well, nope. Sorry. You guys took away the kickoff. So there you go. You got rid of a job because, got rid of sorry.
So you saying they say you got rid of the toll booth clerk?
Listen like that. No, but you get a gunner, man. That's a heck of man. You want to play gunner, man, because you bow. You get to smack him, knock him straight, But he has the speed, to be a gunner, and make a tackle. But again, you no longer have that now. So, yeah. Sorry.
No, I got you. D-Dub's thoughts on Boise State and Penn State.
Penn State looked like another again. What I seen from tonight with Notre Dame. Notre Dame looking bigger than Georgia, and Penn State looked bigger than Boise State to me. And they played like they was the big brother with the little brother. And it was. I wouldn't say it was a blowout, but like you said, it didn't feel like they was necessarily close or they was going to take over the game. I didn't get the feeling of that. I thought Penn State defense was awesome against Boise. It held Ashton Genty in check, and he ain't got nothing to be ashamed about. I mean, it's just he still had 100 yards. 30 carries, 104 yards. I mean, for him, that's kind of like, but for the most part, he did what he could do at the time, and just give credit to Penn State. That's all I could say. Penn State moves on. Penn State played really good. So I mean, there's nothing else more to say about this game other than Penn State played good, and Boise State they did their best they could, and they go back home, and Ashton will be a good pro, so he'll be a pretty good pro. And again, like the DA said, depends on what's the program they go to. He goes to a good NFL team that knows what to do with this guy, they'll be all right.
Well, if he goes to the Jets,
he's not going to be all right. He might be on
gonna
suicide
be
watch.
Yeah. He's not. Art. Listen,
he's
Art,
not.
Art chipped in now. He just said, "What up?" With the upper respiratory tract infection. So don't breathe too hard, Artie. All right.
Shout out to Debbie. Shout out to
Art.
Mom. Shout out to my main man, Arthur. What's up, bro? What's good, man? Thank you, man. Checking in. I text you for New Year's Eve too, brother.
Yeah, happy New Year's, everybody. Yeah,
New Year's Eve 2025, man. Thank y'all for chiming in, man. Appreciate y'all. Let's move to the next game. The game that wasn't a game in the first half. You know, the guys was. I'll tell you a little personal story. I went out to Publix and get some stuff, and guys was telling me it was 14-0. They say, "Yo, hey, stay at Publix."
Did you get chicken? Did you get the wings or?
You had a little bit of time. Yeah, when I talked to you, you still had some time to stay at Publix before Arizona State started coming back. So, I was like, "Yo, you got some time, Kev. Things ain't looking good, Kev." When you got home, Kev, you called me. He was like, "Oh yeah, things still ain't looking good.
Yeah,
I might go back out. So,
from the AP, but it wound up turning to a really good game. A final in 2 overtimes, 39-31. The Texas Longhorns beat the Arizona State Sun Devils. Let me just read this from the AP, of course, from CBS Sports. That's their tickers on our website, sportschaserspodcast.net. Check us out over there. From Atlanta, from the Mercedes-Benz Dome, with Arizona State one play away from pulling off a corner comeback for the ages of the college football playoff, Quinn Ewers delivered a throw to Matthew Golden that saved the season for Texas. And boy, did it. But then it was left for Andrew Mukuba to finish off Cam Scatterbull and the gritty Sun Devils. If the Longhorns go on to win the national championship, they'll long remember how they kept their hopes alive in the Peach Bowl yesterday, the quarterfinal classic. Ewers passed 28 yards to Golden for a touchdown on 4th and 13 to force a second overtime. And Mukuba's interception clinched a 39-31 victory after Texas squandered a 16-point lead in the fourth quarter and missed 2 field goal attempts that could have won it in regulation. The one thing I know about our group is when our backs are against the wall and when our best is needed, our best shows up time and time again, says Coach Steve Sarkisian said. The resiliency that these guys showed today was something that a coach makes you really proud of. Scatterbull put number 10 Arizona State ahead for the first time all day with a 3-yard touchdown run to start overtime against number 4 Texas. The capper on a brilliant performance that wasn't quite enough to knock off the Longhorns. The Sun Devils, a 2-touchdown underdog, according to BetMGM, not BET, but BetMGM Sportsbook.
Not BET. Go ahead.
At the game in their grass before U.S. spotted Golden breaking free behind 2 defenders to haul in the tying score. That's just a testament to how mature this team is and just taking advantage of every single opportunity that we have. So like I said, I'm joking around, but yes, I was absolutely at Publix and I thought this game was going to be nothing. It just didn't look like Arizona State could play with Texas. And then all of a sudden, field goals was missed. Like you said, Cam Scatterbull with his thing, that option touchdown really set it off.
Turned
it around. And when he threw that touchdown, I was like, wow. I said, you better look out. I said, here they come. And sure enough, they made it a game. And, 2 touchdowns. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I just said I think Texas did more to lose this game, to almost lose the game than anything. I mean, shout outs to Arizona State. They did play rather well towards the you would say second half of the game. They came alive, but Texas did a lot of questionable stuff that you'd be like, yo, what are y'all doing? So but kudos to them. They avoided a huge upset because this would have been a huge upset if Arizona would have pulled this off.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that how they came back. Yes, Texas absolutely gave them opportunities time and time and again. The missed field goals, things of that nature, and Arizona State, they took advantage of that stuff, and kudos to them. They hung in there and made it a game. And they did what, DA? they continue to do what? Run
that
ball.
But let me no.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
We're not even at time yet. No, we are not.
Go ahead.
No.
No.
Okay. What I would like you to do, Kevin Morin, sir, if you can, is pull up the brackets from last week if you have them.
Go ahead.
Because this is where the problem lies, right? So I think Arizona might have been a higher seed, right?
Yeah, they got a bye.
Yeah, so this is the weird thing, right? So we say, oh, well, if they would have beat Texas, it would have been an upset. It wasn't supposed to be an upset because they got a higher number. They got a bye. Like, this is, you see how this doesn't make sense in the world? What the NCAA did? The team that's better should have the higher number. So it shouldn't be an upset. Arizona State should beat. Right? They should beat Texas because they had a higher seed than Texas. How? Because we are in the bizarro world. Man, this is nuts. This whole thing is nuts, man. Listen, this was the only good game I saw, to be honest.
I'm laughing as you say this because you are absolutely right.
Since this started, this is the only good game there has been since this thing has started. We are in a bizarro world. Arizona State had a higher seed than Texas. They had a higher number, but we're saying if they beat Texas, it would have been an upset. Why? It shouldn't have been an upset. Right? Right? Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Well, as you break it down, yeah, you said
right. So
go ahead. Keep on going.
Always been in life. Anything we watch something, it was the higher seed was the better team.
Yeah.
So if we're saying that Arizona State beating Texas would have been an upset, that's wrong.
Well, that's because the NCAA and the people, they don't believe in these other teams.
Then why give them the numbers? Why put them there?
Listen, dog. I'm just going by what I.
It goes back to the conference championship crap.
All right,
because they won their conference. Arizona State, one of the Power Five. Same with Boise. They got the buys over teams that are probably better than them.
Not probably. We see now that
we know that.
Right?
Yeah, we know that.
But is this a TV show of football? What are we doing, or is it both? See, that's why I get lost. I get caught at the sports entertainment thing here, right? I get caught there, right? And I've not seen the only good offense I've seen thus far has been Ohio State. And when I say they've been good, I mean they've been good. They've been good. So I kind of see Ohio State just running to the thing right now because I don't see anybody stopping them. I see no one stopping them. As their offensive line gets healthy, they got a good quarterback. Their receivers are the best receivers. The running backs are the best running backs to the left.
I'm sorry, D. Who you speaking of?
Ohio State.
Ohio State being yes, I agree.
I don't see them losing. I don't see them losing.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's going to be a Big Ten final.
Yeah, they can have it.
Because I don't think Notre Dame their offense is good enough.
No, they have a horrible offense. They've had a horrible offense all year. They've just not played a good defense all year. They haven't played anybody all year. So they beat
NIU's a team.
40. Yes, and they lost to them. They're not a great team. Like in the annals of Notre Dame teams, I can go pull a bunch of teams. A lot of teams from Notre Dame that were better. The team that lost in the championship to Alabama would smack this team ridiculously. So we got listen, man. This whole thing has to change by next year. So that's my assignment to these rich guys at the NCAA. Fix it by next year.
Shout out to East Coast Gridiron. They're checking in. I believe that's probably Dante.
Okay, Dante, listen. I got today. Notre Dame's offense looked good. Really good is a stretch, but they did look good. Because
I thought the
Georgia's
defense
was on the field a whole bunch because they were playing with a sub quarterback. They couldn't stay on the field. So yes, you're right. I agree. But we all knew when the season started, they spent all the money. So they had a lot of money out there on their team. But, I still don't give them any props because they don't play anybody all year. Dante, they played you twice, you and your guys. I know that y'all got 11 guys together. I seen the all 22. They said it was Delaware, and they just played you guys. So that's what they're doing. They don't care. They don't care, man. They really don't.
Dan, what's your thoughts on that? Shout out.
Yes, they are. They are awesome. I give you that.
On which one we were bouncing around, like on Texas and Arizona?
It's in Arizona State, sir. Yeah,
man, Texas let them back in the game, and that Scatterboot kid, he was basically their quarterback, their running back. He did everything for them. I think he had 143 yards rushing.
Statable was hold on, that's his throw. He had that 14.
Yeah, 30 rushes, 143
rushes, 2 touchdowns. Yep.
Yeah. And then he had receiving. He had 8 receptions for 99 yards,
and he threw a touchdown pass.
And he threw a 42-yard touchdown pass. I mean, like the quarterback for them. I mean, he did all right. No TDs, but 1 interception. He threw for 222. But that, like I said, that's probably the best game we saw out of all the games so far. And it was good to see that they played a top supposed Division I team and took them to overtime.
And okay, can we get to the thing now?
Hold on before you get to the thing. And please miss me. I think the only people that might have knew about Cam Scatterboo is my man at East Coast.
Absolutely. Dante and them absolutely bigged them up at the beginning of the year. I absolutely give them that. All these guys that's on TV.
All the rest of these people, I don't even know. They act like they knew who this guy. I tell you, I don't know. I didn't know who this guy was. He played a tremendous game, but shout out to
I'm sure the folks that follow that team knew who he was.
I'm sure that
probably Big 12 folks know who.
But that's about it.
Because he probably smacked them all upside the head for a whole season. But as far as for a national, then I will go East Coast Gridiron, and that's good. That's why football's great, because you have these teams and you have these players, right? And at least you get an idea of who some nice guys are.
Yes.
Before they get to the NFL, I've always followed guys like that. I remember we had a guy with the Niners, man, played linebacker, came out of Wisconsin. I knew. I told everyone, oh, man, Patrick Willis retiring. I need this kid. Got him. Had 22 tackles, like almost a game. Then he retired after 1 year because he was going nuts. His head was hurt. But, listen, man, it's good that we got people like ECG to kind of pull our coats for these guys. But, Kevin, I need you to read and find me the targeting rules for the NCAA. That's what I need to see. That's what I need to know. That's all I need to know. I need to know what the targeting rules are for the NCAA FBS Division I football.
Hey, find that man that rules because he was mad about that all day today. So
man, listen, man, I am not
called me several times today about that.
I'm not good with this, man. I'm really not good with this. I'm done.
He's very upset. The DA is very upset, but I'm surprised he doesn't have it with him in his pocket. But go ahead.
This is from UCLA Wire. Let me get the people the proper. This is from Matt Zimnick. He wrote this article on.
What the hell? That article? What's the rules, man?
He got to get to it. He got to set it up. He got to set it up. Go ahead, Kev. Go ahead.
You might have seen college football game involving Arizona State and Texas on New Year's Day. The Peach Bowl, a college football playoff quarterfinal, was tied near the final minute of regulation. On 3rd and 10, ASU threw a 5-yard pass, but the Texas defendant made a very clear helmet-to-helmet hit on the Arizona State receiver. Daryl, D-Dubs, where we at on time? What does it say? Were we at the 29-minute mark?
Yes.
Okay, I'll read this a little bit slower. Let me know when we get to 30, right? They would have been guaranteed to win the game.
30 minutes.
But the odds would have been heavily in their favor. They would have needed just one more first down to get into a reasonable field goal range. That would have needed just 20 yards to get into comfortable field goal range and a kick and a walk-off field goal for the victory over the heavily favored Longhorns, who led by 16 points with 7 minutes left, as we just talked about, right? Before Peach Bowl MVP Cam Scatterable led a dazzling Arizona State rally. College football officiating, however, failed once again. It failed Arizona State on this day. The refs looked at the play on replay review and somehow, somebody failed to call targeting on Texas. Every major officiating consultant or expert concluded that the play was targeting. Yet, the one referee who mattered was the one on the field and said, "Hey, no targeting." This was and is an outrage. SEC bias in a world where ESPN, the main SEC broadcaster, also owns the television rights to the college football playoff. It's hard to ignore all of this. That's one question for another day. The question we have to tackle here is how the targeting rule and the larger college football rule can be fixed. There it is, folks, and he shows. I'll just show it right here. I'll share my screen here with you guys real quick.
Yeah, just show the hit. You can just pause it. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, look like helmet too. Yeah.
That looked like a damn crown to me.
Yeah. Look like leading with them. Yeah.
Hit him with the helmet to the helmet.
Wow.
Boy, Auntie Vanez, I love you because you got me on hold right now. I can feel the leash pulling me back. Things are about to go way the F off the rails. Because
let me go grab me a bottle of water. Hold on.
As a kid, I've played in games like this. In high school, I've played in games like this. And in college, this crap is not supposed to happen. And the reality is this, folks. Like I say with baseball, let's not do this if you're going to give us instant replay. Because, in the 70s, when we were young and we didn't have any technologies, said bang, bang plays, bang, 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 bang. And we could never get a replay to know what happened. The ref can't see it that quickly. He doesn't know it. Okay. Now we are in 2024. You can stop the play.
25.
You can look at it on 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 inch screens. You can see the play. The guy caught the ball, did not take a step, and got hit. Boom. Then the young man was laid. Then, as Bill Cosby would say, was laid out on the ground for another 5 to 10 minutes hurt. And it's still not targeting. Yeah, I'm like boycotting the rest of all this sugar honey iced tea. Real talk. I'm done. I don't know what they want me to do, man. Your girl's cheating on you, and she's showing you she's cheating on you. She ain't hiding the damn thing. She in front of your house with the dude.
Cheaters
playing the boombox in front of your window with this fool.
The TV show Cheaters.
Yeah, she's there, man.
So she's not hiding
it. Hey, girl. Hey, I thought you loved me. Shut up. What? Come on, man. What are we doing, man? We can't do this. I mean, at least show me some respect, man. Like I'm not watching what you're watching. Like I'm not seeing what you're seeing. And because what they do is they just say, "Oh, well, that's just the way it is," and they wipe it away. That's not right, man. Because the kids on that team fought back to try to beat Texas, not to get cheated out of beating Texas. And then, I understand, because this is what everybody says. Well, they went to overtime and they could have won it there. Yes, but they didn't have to go to overtime, homie. They didn't have to go to overtime. So that's real.
Yeah, I'll let me step in and say this. When I saw it, with my eyes. I was like, okay, this is targeting play. All right, this is going to be what it is. And when, like you said, when they go review it and look at it and he doesn't see it, I'm like, what is he looking at? At the letter of the law.
He's looking at, hey, this is Tony Soprano, right? So what you're going to see is that is not targeting. If you call targeting, you're going to target your wife, your kids, and your son. All right? No targeting. Give it the other way. First down. There you go. Listen, they called one earlier in the game.
Yes, they did.
Oh, man, come on, man. Stop. And what's that coach say to his kids? Real talk. Like, what do you say?
Nuts and bolts.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way the world really is, kids. It sucks. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Well, come on, man. It ain't no good. This is not good, man. It's not good in so many. Anybody that's played knows, man, in any sport. When you play somewhere at high school and there's home cooking on the other side and you're looking at the ref like,
right,
dude, you've got to be kidding me. That wasn't holding. He was on my back. What do you mean that wasn't holding?
Oh, but you could call holding every play.
Yeah, well, he was on my back while I tackled his quarterback. That's got to be holding. Like, I'm going to get the sack, but I need another 10. Oh, you got it, big man. Don't worry about it. Stop being such a baby.
Got it, big man. That's exactly what they be saying. You got it, big man.
That's the truth right there.
I've heard it. Man.
Dan, your thoughts on
that just makes me hurt those kids even more.
Dan, your thoughts on that targeting call before we go to the next
in the spirit of DA, all I could do is, all right. Did McConaughey slip that dude some money? What are we talking about? That's his team.
All right.
If I drive this Buick long enough, my Texans gonna win. Yeah, that's just
stupid, man.
That was just like you put the picture up, like the picture doesn't lie.
Let me put it again.
I'm with you. I just don't. And you called it earlier in the game, and this dude is like, "Yo, bro, how's my breath?" Like straight into his face, and no call.
And where's the ref, FK?
Look at the referee looking right at him.
How many feet away from this guy is he?
Probably less than 2.
I mean, do we need to up the insurance package for the referees so they can get vision? They can get vision.
This is not the Kennedy assassination, folks. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? Man?
But you just can't defend
Kev,
like that.
Absolutely. And Kev, this is, again, I know we have these conversations often, especially in 2024. We be like, this is why we say these things. Me and DA, we be like, I hate to use the word, but you have to use the word. You look at it, you say fix. You say it. This is stuff because this is the stuff. This is past like you missed it. Like you looking right at it, dog. There's no way in the world.
Remember, Kevin, when you asked me way back when about, you said, "Yo, D, come on, man, like seriously." You said, "Yo,
how can we fix this? It's
50. There's all
50.
these people out there, 100 dudes on the team. How do they fix it?" And I told you, what did I tell you, Kev? I said the refs. You don't need to speak to 8 of them. You don't need a whole team of all the kids and quarterbacks and coaches. Nah, you ain't got to say nothing to them. Yeah. It's only 8 refs. You can talk to them. Those 10 guys on that crew get everything done you need to get done.
Yeah, you only need one of them.
Yeah.
The one making
because the ref is not making it for you guys. He's making it for his mans and them back at home, man.
That's right. It's bet stamp boys the betting is too big now. And if people say they don't see how it's controlling the games, then you know what?
You just don't want to see it. No,
I got a bridge in Brooklyn I can sell you.
You don't want to see it. You don't want to believe it. I almost thought
you'll see this year in the NCAA tournament. You ain't going to see it during the regular season because you ain't going to have too many games that matter that way.
Let me.
When the tournament starts, you're going to start seeing some fishy stuff. And like I said, why have it on replay where the whole world can see it, and you're going to tell us we didn't see it? Like, don't do that to me. I'm kind of done with it.
You're supposed to go back to New York and go review it, and but I don't know. Hey, Ryan, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, fellas?
Let me get Ryan in here. Ryan, what's up, bro? It's good to see you.
What's up, man? What we talking about, man?
So we on the Texas. We talking about the Texas Arizona State game. We was talking about it amongst ourselves in the chat yesterday. Your thoughts on the game? Your thoughts on that targeting not being called at the end of the game? Your thoughts?
Oh, I don't think that was targeting. To be honest with you, bro, I don't. I'm like, I really don't. He didn't launch himself. He you know what I'm saying? I don't think that was targeting. I mean, at some point we got to play ball, man.
I understand you, Ryan, but
I'm
not going to argue with you, brother.
Yeah,
we just read what it was.
Yeah,
the launching has nothing to do with it. It's just
crown
of the helmet to the other helmet, helmet to helmet, and defensive runner, defenseless guy, right? Everything that you got to do for the rules is like he checked them off when he did it. I'm hitting with the crown of my helmet. I'm not going to let him turn around. He's going to be defenseless. He did all that. Boom.
Check.
But so I understand what you're saying. But we also got to use some logic, right? Was like, okay, I understand you guys are absolutely correct. They checked all the boxes, but but you can tell when somebody's trying to hurt somebody and the intent is there to launch and really get them up out of there. I got you.
I've seen that. I got you. I've seen that in games, but they call it either way. That's the way it's supposed to be done. Whether you had launch intentions, you had a launch code from NASA, or you didn't have a launch code from NASA.
Yeah, but
the reality was when you hit, and this is why, Ryan, it's crazy. And I'm just explaining to you again what I said because there were 4 things that happened that make this really, really nuts, right?
Yeah.
One is that they called one earlier in the game, right?
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole.
Yeah, no, it's fine, but that it was not super egregious either, right? So it was called one early in the game.
Yeah.
2, when it happened in the game, this is a definite turning point, right? They got the ball, they're driving. I think if they get this one, they score or kick a field goal at minimum, right? Boom. So he hits him, helmet to helmet.
He hit the Texas guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, yeah.
Arizona
the
guy.
Texas guy hit the Arizona State guy.
That is right.
No, okay.
Right? You can put the picture there, Kev. Thank you. I'm sorry if you can.
Yeah, no, I got it. I got you.
Right? Knocked the kid. The kid was knocked out. He was hurt. They had to get him off the field.
Yeah.
He was laying on the field for at least 5 minutes.
No, I get it.
Right? Now, it's like when we talk about balls and strikes. We understand what that is, but don't have the box on the screen and let's watch it go in the box and say it's a strike, and you tell us it's not a strike. That's the crown of the helmet right there.
Bro,
that's the crown.
I understand. Again,
can I just interject real quick? Let me just for our people that are looking out and listening. Let me just read the targeting rules. This is the official NCAA targeting rules, and it says, how do referees enforce targeting? Targeting is largely a judgment call on the field. When deciding whether to call targeting, referees consider whether the targeted player was check defenseless and whether check the opposing player led with the crown of their helmet above an opposing check player's shoulder. The NCAA's definition of crown of the helmet has been updated since 2022. It is now defined as the top segment of the helmet, namely the circular area defined by 6-inch radius from the apex, the top of the helmet. Officials use instant replay to determine whether the targeting call on the field was correct. Officials look to see, check if the players leave their feet to launch themselves at an opponent.
There we go.
Check if the player crouches before making a tackle to create maximum force. Check if the player leads with the helmet, shoulder, forearm, fist, hand, or elbow to attack with forcible contact the head or neck area of the opposing player. And if the player lowers their head before making a tackle, makes a forcible contact with the crown of the helmet, a replay must confirm targeting. A targeting call is upheld if a player leads with the crown of their helmet, regardless if a player is defenseless. That's the official.
And I don't think that was targeting. I really don't.
That was targeting. That was by the rules. It was.
I can say it wasn't by the rules because one, they said the whole whatever you said.
Oh, it said it's 6 inches from the middle of the top of the helmet.
So he didn't do this.
No, but he did hit him with that.
Right, but the thing is, you have to be able to see the guy who you're tackling. So if you're up with the helmet up, you're gonna hit him with the face mask. It's when you do this.
Yeah, but if you look at the picture, he didn't hit him with the face mask. He hit him with the top of his helmet.
No, but you can tell he can see. You can tell he can see.
But he still hit him with the crown of his helmet.
No, the crown of the helmet is at the top.
That's where he hit him at.
No, he did not.
If I had a point, Kevin, put it up again. Do you have a mouse that you can go over the picture real quick? Like with your mouse can see it. Like there you go. That's it. Go forward a little bit. Go forward a little bit. Kevin, where's your mouse at, man? Don't see it.
You don't see it?
No, you had it and then it was gone. Right there.
Okay.
See that there, Ryan? That's where you hit him. That's the crown. That's the crown. By the rule, that's the crown. That's not his face mask. His head is looking into his chest.
The crown is the top.
That's the top.
That's at the top. When you're pointing,
that is the top. Do you see what Do you see where his face mask is at, Ryan? Kevin, put the mouse on his
I could say you hit him with the face mask first.
No. Look where the face. No, go down, Kevin. Could you go down? Yeah. There it is. That's his face mask. That's his face mask.
Again,
higher by that Texas, right there in the front. That's the crown of your helmet, man. You in the back, Kevin. I don't know what you're doing. You all right there? You're shaking a little bit.
I don't think it's targeted. Yeah. We're just gonna have to just
agree or disagree.
We'll just disagree, man. Yeah. Like I said, I've got no. I can't argue with anyone because I played it. I know what it is.
Yeah.
I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. I know he hit him with the crown of his helmet into his helmet. Right? They might have been his face mask was looking down at his neck, essentially, when he hit him. Right? And if he's looking down at the neck, the face mask where your eyes are at ends about here. Mm-hmm. Everything from here up on the helmet is your crown.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Right. So when he hit him here, and you'll see it when you look at it later on the night at the news. You'll see it. Right. His head is right here. He hit him with this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first thing that hit him. Right. And he crouched. And he crouched, which is another part of what Kevin said. He crouched. Mm-hmm. You can see his legs crouched. Right, which means he's going to explode up through it.
I mean,
that's what you're taught to do. But at the end of the day, he didn't call it, so it doesn't matter to me that much. But I could just say it was wrong, in my opinion, and most of the world's opinion. And it cost him the game, and that's why I get upset.
No. It didn't cost him the game.
Oh yes, it did.
Oh, it did. Dude, it's 4th and 15 at the goal line. You don't need all you gotta do is drop. You don't need to be blitzing and sit in a house because if you don't get pressure, it's 1-on-1. All you gotta do is drop coverage and send 4. You said they sent the whole damn.
Well, that was Texas. Texas was on Texas.
No, I'm talking about Arizona blitz on
you're talking about on the next
play of the game.
Yeah, I'm talking about that you didn't have to get. That was in overtime. What I'm saying is you didn't have to get the overtime if you get that penalty because that's 15 yards in the ball.
No,
right.
No.
Yeah,
it went to overtime because it was under regulation.
No, it went to overtime because they didn't make the call.
No.
Yes.
No.
Kevin, why did it go to overtime?
It didn't even go to overtime yet. It was 4th and 15 when they blitzed and that's what made it go to overtime.
No, what I'm saying to you is this: that they were up. They would have been up, and there would have been no need for overtime had they called the right call.
Well, I don't think it was the right call. I think they made.
Yeah, okay, I got you. I got you. So, I got you.
So, with that said, we're going to call this a tie. Ryan says one day, DA says the other. Hey, that's how this goes. Sometimes we don't always agree.
Yeah, it's fine.
Which is what we want. We don't always have the same opinion about.
No, we're good, man. I can say it's not even against Ryan. I could care less.
Right. Yeah,
I just think it's bad for the sport.
No,
I think it's bad for the sport, man.
I mean, and they also put these targeting rules not only for the offensive guy, for the defensive guy, because that's how you get hurt. That's how you snap your neck. That's why.
I know why they do it.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's why you should always be looking up, or you know what I'm saying, when you're hitting, not doing this. I don't think he did this and targeted him. That to me is targeting. When you just don't even see the guy.
No, he's showing, but you can still target. So,
I get it. Yeah, I mean,
you can still target. It's and to me, Kevin will tell you, when it first started, I was like, I don't know what you're calling. Like, that's just the way I hit. But it is what it is.
And to your point, DA, if they would have called targeting, I wouldn't have a problem with it neither. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have a problem. It was that close to me.
It's fine. That doesn't matter. Yeah, it is what it is.
It's like I said, man. I've seen it worse on both sides, man. Yeah. And we've seen it where stuff is. If you're gonna go by the letter of the law, that's what it says. It says targeting. If he's defenseless, whatever. I've seen it, and I've seen it on the team that I that I like and I want to win, and I've seen it happen on the other side. So it's subjective. It is. It shouldn't be, but it is what it is, man. So hey, got to move on.
Let's move on to the last game. We won't be able to talk about, of course, Notre Dame and Georgia. They defeated Georgia, but let's talk about the game yesterday. The Buckeyes and the Oregon Ducks. This game was never close, but Ohio State won this game 41-21. Listen, I'm gonna say what Ryan said yesterday in the chat. Ryan said, "You know what? Sometimes people just have bad days, man.
Just get your ass kicked. You give me your butt kicked. Yeah,
it's fine. No, Ryan, we're good. We're past the 30-minute mark.
Is ASS considered a curse word?
No, we're good. We're past the 30-minute mark. We're good.
Hey, man, McAfee says shit on ESPN. So I mean, I don't know what the problem is, but go ahead.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just not your day, man. Sometimes, sometimes that's sports. Sometimes you just get blown out, man. At the most inopportune times, it just happens that way, man.
Let me just read this real quick. Second chances don't come around often in life. Ohio State. Ryan Day told his players in a team meeting before the Rose Bowl after a season which they fell short at too many key moments. The Buckeyes all knew they had one of those second chances when they stepped into the famous turf for another shot at the top-ranked, unbeaten Oregon Ducks. Ohio State sees it all with vengeance. Jeremiah Smith caught two of Will Howard's 3 long touchdown passes during a sensational 34-point first half, and the number 6 Buckeyes roared into college football's playoff semifinals with a 41-21 victory in the 111th Rose Bowl on Wednesday night. You can see the potential where we're at when we play in all 3 phases the way we did. And those that remember, Oregon beat Penn State earlier in the year, and as they always say, it's hard to beat a team twice, or sometimes 3 times. So it's what it is. Brian, if you want to elaborate, like you said, and I agree with you. Yeah, Oregon, they had a bad day.
Had a bad day at the worst time. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean they're not good. It doesn't mean they're not a great program. It just happens sometimes, man. It just happens. Like, and it's not like basketball when you have a series, right? There's been plenty of basketball series, man. You see a team get blown out, and then the next game they come back and they can make up for it. It's just one and done, and that's what it is, and that's what makes college football, college basketball, the tournament so fantastic, is because it's one and done. It's everything. You
got to play your best game every day.
Yeah.
Every day you got to play your best game every day. You ain't got no time. You got no chance to say. So
Yeah, so
it is what it is. Yeah. But again, I still never trusted Oregon all year. But go ahead, Ryan,
but to be honest with you, in this whole year, I didn't think. Like I said, I thought it was wide open, man. Anybody can win. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
There was no powerhouse team. I mean, I know Oregon had the record and things of that nature, but like you said, you didn't believe in them. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You were like, man, you know what I mean?
So, I mean, they look good. Yeah, they look good on paper. They look good on, we turn them on. yeah, they look high, they look flashy, they look nice, the shiny, uniforms and everything looks great. But I just didn't believe that what I seen from them every day, every week, translated that they was the best team in the country.
Right? Because didn't they play earlier in the season?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Mm-hmm. And they beat Ohio State, but it's I just go back to what I said, man. It's just a bad day for them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get out coached, so and it looks bad because you got out coached. You got outplayed in all phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams, and it just snowballed. So it's hard. Momentum in sports is tough, man. Momentum in sport, when that momentum snowballs on you, man, and it's like an avalanche. When everything goes bad, everything goes bad. So
it was just the wrong time. And
yeah.
Ohio State's playing their offenses. Finally clicking. It seems, and everybody knew that if it clicked, it was going to be the best offense in the country. It just never clicked. But we'll see if it clicks again. That just might have been a aberration, but they beat the hell out of them. So and they probably trying to get back for that first loss because they were supposed to win. They were up in the first game.
Yeah, correct.
And lost it because of mistakes by the quarterback. So I think now that he's kind of got, I guess, a Joe Burrow Joe Burrow type of personality where he's like, yo, I'm gonna get them back for it or whatever it is. I am not a huge Ohio State dude, but they look like the best team in this dance right now. They look like the prettiest girl.
Gotcha. Dan, what you got? Shout out to Jay Feely for checking in on Twitter and
thank you, Jay.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And what up, Mike Bristol? Appreciate you. Dan, what you got on the Ohio State and Oregon?
Basically, whether they didn't show up or had a bad game, Ohio State went off. Jeremiah Smith, 7 receptions, 187 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Now some of that was like they just couldn't guard dude, B.
Yeah, they had nothing for him.
They had nothing for him out there, man.
And they really probably should have won the first matchup if they didn't mismanage the clock and they had a timeout.
Sí, senor.
And that's pretty much drove Howard probably for the rest of the season to want to get back to this point. And like they said, this is the best team in the dance, and there's probably going to be a Big Ten final, and Ohio State's going to win it again.
Yeah, and you know what? Who's still not happy? Ohio State fans, because they're still mad they lost to Michigan. I'm like, dude, you're in the playoffs. You could win a national championship. Yeah, but we didn't beat Michigan. I'm like, man, okay.
The main thing is the main thing, right?
Right. I'm like,
the main thing is the main thing.
But there are fans and and supporters of Ohio State like we'd rather beat Michigan than win the championship.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's
man.
real.
And that's just that rivalry, man. So rivalries are always the best, man. Rivalries.
But if I may.
They say rivalries is that's the what's my man Kev? What's your man's name?
We won't say his name.
Okay.
They play.
That's the prerequisite of being a coach. You got to beat the rivalries, man.
Yeah,
they don't care about nothing else, and that's what it is.
Well, I won't say his name, but my man, he played at Michigan during the time when Brady was there, and he said basically, and it's still the mantra. He said, "Yo, you got to be Ohio State. That's part of the prerequisite, and you got to graduate your seniors. You got to graduate your kids
on both sides." So Ohio State is thinking the same thing about
Michigan. That's about them. So.
That's it.
And Alabama does about nothing else. Auburn and Georgia, everybody got one. So.
Winning the national championship is like icing on the cake. It's that winning that other stuff.
Yeah. But if I may say, this is what we're going to get used to is something Ryan was talking about. Like there's no dominant team.
Yeah.
With the money, the portal, and the NIL, it's flattening out, right? So back in the days where a team could be dominant like Miami, those kids ain't waiting around behind whoever. They're just going out there to get it. So they're going to start where they can start at because they're getting paid to do it for a year or two. So it's harder to get teams that are dominant teams like that, unless, and this is why, like, some teams that aren't paying are going to fall off.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that are paying are going to stay there. And this is what goes to what I was saying earlier about how conferences are going to have to step up their games. So when you have a team in a bad conference that's really good, and they come out 13-1, and whether people believe it or not, they're showing that shit to you right now. When they have a team that's 13-1, a 7 seed, and a team that's 11-2, 3 seed, or whatever it is, right? Mm-hmm. They're showing you what they really think, that team should be better than that team.
And all the conference champions lost. Every one of them.
Every last one of them.
Every single one of them lost after the first round bye weeks.
So and we talked about that, I guess, Monday. Kevin doesn't like the home games, essentially, first round. Mm-hmm. They should be kind of, neutral places because, SMU was not supposed to beat Penn State. But, man, those dudes out there were freezing. They didn't know what to do with that cold up there at Penn State, So to make it, I guess, fair or even, the neutral places should go back and let the country all get to see, the pageantry, because the fans of the school are going to travel.
No,
it's not like they wasn't going. So go ahead, D. I'm sorry.
No, D. No. I don't need to see no more. I'm good with. It should have been if they would have selected these 4 teams: Notre Dame, Penn State, Ohio State, Texas. I would have been fine. That I don't need to see no more of these 12 other teams. That's it. Give me these 4 teams.
There's no need for them.
There's no need
get to
for
what
it.
We knew was going to be the end anyway.
Let's get to the what you said. Let the main thing be the main thing.
Yeah, man.
Let's get to these 4 teams right here. This is,
but there's so much money in between to get.
I get it.
So much money in between to gather.
Yeah, y'all getting 14 next year, so look out.
It's too much. It's overkill. It's too much, and
it'll be like this year.
You
got one good game out of every game from the beginning of the playoffs to now. I think we all could say there was one good game.
Because here's the thing: if you're not good enough, if these guys are not good enough to get the matchups right, because here's the thing: nobody's going to spend their time to just see these blowouts or these. I mean, we know that blowouts happen. It happens sometimes, but it shouldn't, right? If we got the teams matched up correctly, and I just don't think that we don't have. And I'm not saying you're going to get it right all the time, but my God, I mean.
You'll hear that Oregon's going to have a problem with the process because they're going to say they had the toughest road. Like their road was tougher, and they're the number 1 team, so they shouldn't have the toughest road.
Well, they did
have the right.
They should have the lesser road if they was the number 1 team. Right?
They didn't have that.
That's just the way it fell to them.
No, it fell the way they wanted it to fall. Right? Remember. They picked and choose who they wanted.
No. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Remember, the conference champs. This is how it's aligned. The conference champs gets the automatic bids. So they didn't pick who they wanted.
But what side of the bracket you were on, they picked, and that's what they were saying. Their side of the bracket had the hardest way.
No, it went from rankings, from the rankings. So the top. Because the rankings were the rankings.
I got that part.
So the top, the conference champs got the buys.
I understand.
So they were already slotted.
Yes. What we're saying is that if you slotted Oregon on the left side as number 1, the teams they would have had to play to make it to the championship would not have been as hard as the teams on the right side.
So you're saying
it's a numbers game.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a numbers game, right?
So basically, you want to reseed.
And for me, it doesn't matter. I didn't care.
I'm saying.
I'm telling you what I heard Oregon fans say that they had as a number 1 team, they should have had an easier route. They say Penn State has an easier route to the championship than we did.
Ryan, I am one of those people.
That's all I'm telling you.
All right, hold on.
I mean, I can see what he's saying.
That their second game, they would have to go through Ohio State or Tennessee. Which
so hold up.
That's all they're saying.
So if we look at this bracket, Oregon's number 1, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the highest seed left out of these 4 games that were played? The number 8 seed, which was Ohio State. They didn't win the Big Ten. They didn't get the bye. They dropped in the rankings.
Yes.
So where they got ranked, put them against Tennessee.
Exactly.
Yes.
So they beat Tennessee. So, manipulating the rankings to make it easier for Oregon, I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
I don't.
And Clemson's the one that
messed up everything.
Everybody.
Yeah, but
so
I
anybody
understand
wants to be
saying.
mad.
I'm not mad at that.
Be
part.
mad at Clemson because
if
they don't win that title, SMU wins the title, then they probably get the bye, SMU, and there's a different team Ohio State's playing instead of Tennessee.
I think most people think, and I don't have a problem with it at all. I'm telling you what I heard Oregon fans say. What I'm saying is this. I think teams, and we said this earlier, I think teams were slotted with the wrong numbers. I don't know how they were slotted, right? Because we all knew
it was just the ranking.
Well,
but the ranking, the way the rank, that has to change next year.
The slot is already there.
Yeah,
so whatever you finish with, it's already
on it, but the ranking was off. And we all know the rankings were off because teams that had lower from a statistics where they were, 12-3, 1 in this, whatever their real record were, you had teams with losses higher than teams with 1 loss. So
you want the format change where the conference champions,
I don't think they should have automatic.
Don't get the automatic bids.
I don't think automatic buys the automatic bids should be.
Automatic buys.
Bids.
Right. So
it should be bids better over buys.
Well, no, what I'm saying is so you want the format change where the conference champions don't get the automatic 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, if you're not the best team, no.
Well, that's the only way you could do it. And so the way that format is, that's
because if you're doing it by record all year, then we throw records out. Like we do what you do as a team all year. And I understand it in basketball, right? The conference, you win the conference tournament.
It's different.
You get to the tournament, right? Yeah. You get a bid. You get there. You don't get a bye because you're Georgetown and you beat Connecticut that one day. You get a bye? Like we're gonna rank you number 1 in the East? Like, no, man, no.
Well, the answer to this is
go ahead, Dan. And
computers, Dan.
This is very interesting because I can see it from both sides. I see it,
but you want it to be so-called fair, then you drop all the conference championships. They're done. You don't have them anymore.
Oh no, Dan, that's money.
No. But and then you go strictly off the 1 through 14 ranking.
Yes.
Who makes it in?
Yes.
And 1 plays the worst seed, 2 plays the next worst seed, so on and so on.
Dan, but
get rid of the championships, the buys, all that BS.
No, Dan, listen. For the money, the conferences can still have their championships. They just have nothing to do with the final rankings. So you'll get your trophy for being the ACC champ.
Oh, I don't want to play in it.
Yeah, why am I going to play in it? It doesn't mean anything.
Hey,
I don't want to accept it to the.
I'm only going to play the first half.
Listen, I'm just throwing it out there as an ex-player. What I would do, I want the trophy. We won the ACC. We won. Now, the fact that we won the ACC, because it's not like you're going to go from nowhere to winning the. You'll get to play in the championship of the ACC because you have a good record on one side or the other side, right? So you go in there and you win. It doesn't mean you get a bye.
Yeah,
because you could be ranked 8th.
Well, right. Well,
right, based upon your record the whole year, or not make it at all.
Right.
Go ahead. Rob.
Well, what's going to happen every year is right. They're going to move the goalposts for whatever narrative they want. They want to build.
Of course.
High tide.
High tide. Because all I heard last year when my team went undefeated is they lost. They lost their quarterback. Georgia lost their quarterback.
I was with you. I'm still with you.
Yeah, Georgia lost their quarterback, and they got 2 losses and lost their quarterback.
I'm still with
FSU was undefeated and lost their quarterback.
I'm still with you.
So they always
but to counter that, now we got a billion teams in the playoff and not 4.
Right.
So that makes a difference. But I'm with you.
Yeah, but
Beck's out. Okay.
Why didn't they get punished?
Yeah, I'm with you. I ain't got nothing.
They kind of did today.
Florida State won their conference championship.
Let me tell you something, man. I thought Florida State was going to win the national championship last year.
Oh,
and I thought they would at least I think they would at least been a runner-up.
If Jordan doesn't get hurt,
that based upon that fuck the quarterback, based upon the 8 guys that went to the NFL and contributed this year. Oh no,
on defense and offense. On defense and offense.
Yo, people don't know, man. They had the D's tackle, nose tackle.
The one for the Rams. The 2 guys that play for the Rams, Pace and the other.
Stop.
Crazy.
Stop it.
Oh, the wide receivers. I mean,
I know it was on and popping, man. So
Ryan wants justice from 2020.
Yeah, man. Like,
he was justice for Florida State.
Open the cold case.
They're just gonna change the goalposts and move and fix the narrative, for however they want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
they've loused up the game. That's what.
Because real quick, Kev. Yeah. Because I'm looking at Ohio State is ranked. They got them 8. So I mean, to DA's point, I think he has a valid one because they're 8.
They didn't win their conference championship though. They didn't even make it to their conference championship.
Yeah, that's this year's rules. But if we did it Dan's way, they were probably the 3rd best team in the country.
Right.
Maybe 2.
Right, but even if you did it from last year's rule, they wouldn't have been in there.
Well,
they would have been a top. They wouldn't have even made it to the top 4.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not sure about.
They would have made it because they didn't win their conference championship. They wouldn't have made it to the top 4.
Yeah.
Did all 4 last year make it to win the conference championship?
No.
Yeah, so I thought they would have made it. They was good last year. They wasn't this good.
I don't know about all this bias stuff.
I'm talking about if you use the system from last year.
Okay, last year there was 6, right? That's it. Is that last year or this year, Kevin?
No, this is this year's. This is if you want to do it your way, DA. Here you go. Yeah. Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame, Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Tennessee, Boise State, Indiana, Arizona, Alabama, SMU.
High Tide. See, they would have booted Clemson.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been there. And again, even that I have a problem with because the ranking is not. They have nothing to do with the fucking RPI. So, with that being said,
back to the computer.
I can't. Back to the computer. I can't do it. I can't do it. I mean, I won't respect it. So that's just me.
We're not going to solve this tonight. This has been
no one's going to solve it.
They ain't going to solve it either.
Kevin, it's not to be solved.
And it doesn't matter how many teams you add for the playoffs. Somebody's always going to get screwed.
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter. So it's just.
I think they like it like this.
Science. It's not a perfect science.
They love it like this.
So, I think they love it like this. They love it because we talking. So
exactly. So there's always going to be controversies. Who gets in? Who doesn't? But they like that stuff.
1 hour, 13 minutes, commercial free, and we'll talk about this. You're absolutely right. Let me move on real quick to the NFL real quick. And we forgot to mention this on Monday because we was talking about college football. Saquon Barkley, as y'all know, he got 2,000 yards, 2,005 yards. He will not be starting on this coming Sunday against the Giants. His coaches have decided to sit him and rest him for the playoffs. And he's 101 yards shy of Eric Dickerson's record. So he said, when I slept on it, I was like, this is an opportunity to implement my name in football history. Barkley said, you may never get an opportunity like that again. So I'm down, but I don't care about it. I'm putting the team at risk. He's the head of the coach for the reason. He makes the decisions, and whatever decision he wanted to make, if he wanted to play me, I'm going to go out there and make sure I get it. If we don't, I was okay with either. So Barkley will not start for the for the Eagles. against the Giants on Sunday and going for Eric Dickerson's record. Another quick hit real quick. D-Dub sent this to me. Ron Rivera and Louis Riddick are interviewing for the New York Jets head coaching positions as
we speak.
And the GM.
No, Riddick is going for the GM. Yeah.
GM. Rex Ryan is supposedly interviewing too.
Oh shit!
Well, Rex been interviewing for last 10 years. Every Monday morning.
He campaigning. He on a campaign trail. He campaigning on
every Monday
morning. Yes, he's been campaigning.
I can do that. I can do that.
Hey, go ahead, Kev.
Go ahead.
Let's be real about this whole Eric Dickerson record. ED did that in like 15 games, bro.
14.
Was it 14? 14 games.
Yeah, it's
this is
yes.
If Saquon breaks that in 18 games, I'm still considered that's Eric Dickerson's record.
And I really think that's why. Yeah, they're resting him, but I think that's also the byproduct too. Because like,
absolutely,
yeah,
he's part of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-man crew that's ever ran for 2,000 yards.
Right, so that's
he's
good
part
enough.
of the 6-man crew.
Yeah,
and 2 of those 6 men you'll probably never even remember who did it. What's it? CK
Chris Johnson, Tennessee
Chris Johnson, Eric Dickerson, Barry Sanders, Jamal what you call him from the
Jamal
Lewis, and I think
Adrian Peterson, right?
Adrian P.
AP.
Yeah. AP probably could have did it about 5 times.
So this is Eric Dickerson's record unless somebody breaks this within 14 games.
14, yeah.
So that's the same thing with the Gentry in college breaking Sanders' record.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because he played like 2 or 3 more games than Sanders already.
I totally agree with you. Dan. Correct.
The Barry was something else, man.
Y'all
ain't seen Barry Sanders in college?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was like a little, like you playing ball with a midget man, grown man. There's a bunch of kids out there with this little midget man, and he's just running all over people.
Sir, that's a small person, not midget.
They know. That's not a bad word.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yo, Kevin, cut his mic off, please. We will not be saying the M word up here. It's small people, sir.
Little people.
No,
let me move on to the next story, D. I got you, bro. Let me move on. Real quick. Cowboys must. Jerry Jones is trying to see whether he's going to keep Mike McCarthy for the 2025 season, or is he going to extend it? What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said that.
I know. I just had to put it out there because it's out there. It's out there. Let's move on to hockey with the Dan K, the hockey dude. Dan, go ahead, take it away for hockey, sir. What you got for us tonight?
Well, I know we're running behind a little bit here. We had a spirited college football conversation, so we're going to blitz through this real quick on the rankings. So, number 1, Vegas. Number 2, the Jets. Number 3, the Caps. Number 4, the Wild. Number 5, the Kings. 6 is the Oilers. 7 is the Devils. 8 is the Panthers. 9th is the Leafs. And 10 is the Canes. Vegas has been hot up at late, 8-2 in their last 10. But more what I want to get into is where we left it the last time we had talked.
Oh, God.
We're back to the Rangers watch. So it's like they heard us, right? The next thing we know, they come out to Dallas and they play a great game. The stars show up for the Rangers. They get points. They get the W, and they haven't won since.
Hey, man, it was for you, Dan. We do that for you.
They were like, shut that guy out.
We do that because we love you.
It's that they've lost 4 straight. And they're playing Boston right now. At the end of 2, the Rangers are up 2-1. And then
lose this game.
But they lost, let's see, they lost 3-1 to the Canes, 5-0 to the Devils, 6-2 to Tampa, and then 5-3 recently against the Panthers. And I watched the highlights of that game. They didn't play too bad against the Panthers. They just had some, a bad bounce, and then it went, kind of did a crapper. But after Boston tonight, you get Ovi on Saturday.
Not good.
And then you might get a freebie on Sunday because you got the Blackhawks.
Yo, the Rangers on national TV like 2
back to back.
Back to back, brother.
Yep. Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
But Connor's not playing, right? Bedard, he's not back yet.
He's playing. Bedard's playing.
Okay.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, he was playing in the outdoor game, which we'll get into here in a minute.
Hey, Dan, real quick.
Hmm?
I mean, the Rangers have fell to the bottom of the division. I mean, this is they was up at one point in the season for a little bit.
They were 12-4.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they are 16-19 already. I mean,
yep.
33 points. This is definitely alert.
You're gonna see probably a fire sale depending on how the next probably 5 games go, because the no move for the holiday referendum is up, I believe, and you got some players that are being scratched, like Capo, and spoke out about it. And where's Capo now? Oh, he's in Seattle.
Capo gone.
And then
he gone.
I saw another one where I think a defenseman, Jones was his name, was not happy that he was being scratched, and he's like, "I'm not trying to Capo out of here." but he's got a problem with the coach, not because he's not getting time, and you're seeing they're not playing well. At least like tonight, they've been playing pretty decent, but as a whole, they've been really struggling. And like we've talked about, I think the GM would go before the coach, but it's probably going to be the coach. And I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of the other big ticket names get moved.
But overall, the players, not to interrupt you, but the players, they enjoy playing for Lavalette. Is that
for the most part? Yes,
for the most part, right?
Yeah. From what I see in snippets of interviews and whatnot, that they like playing for him. I don't think he's necessarily the problem. I think they got a lot of internal strife, with the way like we talked about, with the way they handled some of these trades, moving players out, and the way they treated them. I mean, just look what they did with your captain, sending him to Anaheim, and they tried to move him to like 2 different teams. I think Columbus was one of them, and he ixnayed that because he has his no trade clause. But now, coupled with, not playing very well, now your top goaltender is put on, the IR with a upper body injury, which I believe is right here. The confidence is he's struggling, bro. Like I told you the other day, like he's had like 11 games where he's given up 5 goals this season, which is crazy after the way he played last year. Because literally this team at the beginning of the season was damn near the same team minus maybe 3 people. So I don't get it. And, your favorite boy, Sean Avery, I've seen a couple of his videos where he was breaking down the Rangers play. And like he showed one with Keandre Miller. Like he coughed the puck up in the offensive zone by the faceoff dot and then didn't skate hard to get back. And the guy he should have had was the guy that scored the goal.
Gotta hustle.
So it's like, and some of these goals that are happening to Igor are not his fault. Like there's nothing he can do about it. It just is what it is. It's part of the game. A bad bounce, hit a shin pad, whatever. But we'll see.
Fire sale.
Yeah, they're going to move somebody.
Fire sale.
And they may fire the coach, but if they fire the coach, who are they going to replace him with? Because if that was the case when Montgomery got let go of Boston, maybe you should have picked him up.
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
But that'd be a yes, man. That'd be a yes.
It is what it is. And like Zibanejad finally scored tonight. Here we are. We're almost at the halfway point of the season. A lot of these teams are anywhere from like 35 to 40 games played. He's got 7 goals. That's it. 7 goals.
Kind of quiet there, huh?
Chris Kreider assisted on the goal. That's his 2nd assist for the year. That's crazy.
Almost at the halfway point, yeah.
I mean, so,
what is Chris Drury going to do?
I wouldn't be surprised to see Kreider go. And I wouldn't even be surprised to see Mika go. just because of
wow
the way that they're playing right now. If you can move him, this hypothetical, right? So if you could move Zibanejad to Buffalo for Tage Thompson,
right?
Younger,
you can
higher ceiling player.
Yes. Okay.
Do you move him for that?
Yes. Yes, I'll answer for yes.
That's what I'm saying. There's some players out there that they can move some of these guys to shore up whatever deficiencies they're having. Like we talked about, they were good on the penalty kill. Their power play was mid-pack.
Yeah,
but they're not good at 5-on-5.
I just find it amazing how did we get here so quickly? We was just on top of the mountain,
right near it.
You were one series from playing for the cup.
There was
absolutely. How did we get there?
Bananas, man. Stepped on the banana peel and it was over.
It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. They got handed by with the Panthers the other night. Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
No. This is your team. We can talk about them.
Yeah. God damn.
Let us know your feelings.
I haven't been telling you to sing all year. It's
quiet.
Yes, very quiet. Yes, I've been very quiet. I have nothing to say. I'm sorry.
They're bad.
Yeah, they're bad. You're right.
Hey, we're able to hold on to the.
They've already started.
We're able to hold on.
I'm sorry, Kev. Go ahead.
We was able to. No, I was just saying we're able to hold on to the other tenant in MSG that's playing well. Thank God for them.
Yeah,
the Knicks.
I watched them yesterday.
I watched them too against Utah. But go ahead, Dan. Yeah, we can just lean on to that. Yeah, go ahead.
They just started the third. They're up 2-1 on Boston. We'll see how this game ends.
Yeah.
But that's with the Rangers, we'll give them see what happens. Because like you said, we got Saturday and Sunday, and then I think like Monday or Tuesday they got Utah. They got probably like 4 or 5 games in the next week.
Usually national TV games get you fired.
Yeah, so we'll see how the next 5 go for them. Because if they don't start turning it around, I got a feeling that they got to make a change.
Well, it's still going to be a fight. I mean, shoot. How many more changes you got to make, Dan? Right? How many? The numbers already is more change than most teams do in a whole season. So listen.
Well, you got the trade deadline coming up here.
Yeah, so it'll just be Ego there by himself.
That's usually with like 15 games left in the season. So, and a lot of teams try to get ahead of that now and make the deal so they can get the chemistry going instead of 7 games before the playoffs.
Ego would be there by himself.
But yeah, you guys, you were on top of the mountain,
and we're not now.
Yep, you got on that banana peel, and now you're at the bottom.
Yes, very much so. Can't even find a way back up. We fall and then we can't get up.
You got 33 points.
Wow.
Buffalo has 32. And then Chicago's got 26. Nashville's got 29. And San Jose's got 28.
We lost to Chicago.
So that's the company you're keeping right now.
I know. Young guys. There you go.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, young guys.
And you guys brought up Louis Domingue for Igor, so we'll see. If he gets any playing time here in the next couple.
Need to.
I got a feel that he's got to probably play Chicago.
Yeah,
just because they're playing back to back.
Yeah, needs to.
And then we had the Winter Classic. That was New Year's Eve for whatever reason when there was like 9 games on. That should have been a New Year's Day game, like it always been. So.
Yeah,
but I regress. But the Blues beat the Blackhawks 6-2, and I thought it was kind of cool that Cam Fowler, I believe he just got traded not too long ago from Anaheim to St. Louis, but he was playing in his 1,000th game, which is a huge milestone for hockey players, and he scored twice in that game in the outdoor game at Wrigley Field. So I thought that was really cool, and there's a good tilt. If you go on hockeyfights.com, just look for Foligno versus Shen. The 2 captains went at it. It's center ice, and it was a fairly good tilt. And, Chicago, they changed their coach recently. They've lost 5 straight, so that's not really working. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if Rangers, fire their coach, there's no guarantee that it's going to work.
Oh yeah, of course.
It can get worse.
It
depends on if you interim a coach to the end of the year or you go straight, because that's probably more likely to happen if they fire the coaches. You're going to interim one of the current coaches. You're probably not going to hire someone brand new right in the middle of the season because a lot of those guys already got picked up.
Right.
But,
and that's just opportunity. Like you just can't at that point in time.
Yeah. The cupboard's a little bare when it comes to picking a coach at that point. You might have to get one that's on the TV side or whatever that hasn't been coaching this year. Hell, Detroit fired their coach, Lalonde, I think his name was, and they brought McClellan back. I'm like, what do you guys do? I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, my man's up there at ESPN on TV with the sharp suits, and you get him. So
who? Melrose?
The pimp.
Melrose.
Yeah, he's been out the bit. Yeah, he was having a little bit of health issues.
He got some health issues. Yeah,
that's the pimp.
But he still has an awesome mullet.
Oh yeah, it's the pimp. Pimp baby.
But
PIMP.
My only thing is hey, put that damn game New Year's Day, because they had Devils and Kings on New Year's Day. That was the only game. But really? Everybody else played Tuesday, and I was like, that just doesn't make sense.
That's strange.
But I did see some cool things. They had Bettman on the intermission, and I think they said that they've been thinking out of the box of where they could have next year's outdoor game, and they said they weren't ready to announce it yet, but within like a week, 2 weeks, or whatever, we may find out where next year's game is. So looking forward to seeing where they're going to do that. And then the other thing that I just wanted to touch on is the grade 8 is back in action. He's been like 3 games back since he fractured his fibula on November 18th, which how he's still on the ice this quick is beyond me. It's that Russian gas.
Yeah, that Russian stuff.
That's some crazy shit.
But vitamins.
He was going into tonight 25 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's record of 894.
He's prolific.
And I see on the stats here that he has a power play goal.
Ooh.
So now he's 24 away. And if I had to guess, he was on the left side on his off wing on the face-off dot, just standing waiting for a pass into his wheelhouse.
He got
where he scored probably 700 goals.
Right, in his career.
That's like they should, like, how when Gretzky retired, they put the 99s behind all the nets because that was his office, so to speak, where he did his work. Well, when Ovi decides to, hang him up, I think that the whole league should just on that dot put the number 8 for the whole season.
Yeah,
because he's gonna break this record, which is insane that he's got 18 goals, and he's pushing 40.
Yeah,
after breaking his leg, he's still playing at a high level. So
said that Russian gas.
Yeah, being a Pens fan, he was the enemy for the longest time, and the longer that you watch great players, you can, even though they're on your rival team,
you can appreciate them.
You can appreciate them, and you appreciate what they've done for the game. Because through the years, Crosby and him, they basically carried the league there for a good 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I saw too on the intermission of the Winter Classic that when they had Bettman, that Gretzky and Bettman are going to be traveling once he gets closer to breaking this record to the games.
Oh, okay.
To be in attendance if and when he does do it.
That's cool.
So, and it was funny because Biz asked Wayne, he said, "Who's getting the remote in the hotel?" Batman's like, "Oh, he could have it, whatever." And then the other cool thing I saw was they had Biz. They have basically, I think it's synthetic ice, a little, big rectangle that the kids can play on. But they had Bedard stick handling, and Biz was trying to take the puck from him.
Wow.
And they're going around. He's flipping it in the air over top of Biz and whatever. Biz got it away from a couple times. But the best part was the clip that I saw was the ex-player, Keith Yandel, who's a big jokester. You could hear him on the side say, "Hey, son, the Make-A-Wish is over. Time to get off the ice."
I did see that. That was funny.
Yeah, man. That sucked.
Biz is always getting chirped, which is awesome.
Yeah.
He's a great fighter, though. Shout out to Biz.
Yeah, I love. Hey, they're spitting chicklets show. Like
I'm at the restaurant.
Houston's, yep. But that's like if you want to hear some great stories about playing in Russia, go through their catalog of podcasts because they got some great stories. Like I used to listen to that religiously. And the last thing I got is we were about a little over a month away from the Four Nations tournament, taking was it February 12th to the 20th?
Right.
So that we got that. Hey, I'm absolutely looking forward to that because no all-star game, no 3-on-3, no half-ass playing.
It's
like,
playing.
This is gonna be for real because they're playing for their nations, and I got a feeling it's going to be very competitive.
Yeah. And we talked about that about a month ago. We think that's kind of the way these things should go.
Well, you got to do something.
Yeah, you got to get something to make it better.
And just to touch on my boys here, Kev, you sent me this earlier, and I was just giggling to myself because I know exactly. So Toronto's back on the island.
Oh,
you know what that means?
Johnson.
The devil himself is back in the building. They still can't let that guy live.
Yeah, bro, they hate that guy, man. I was like, he just left. I'm sorry, man.
I knew.
Yeah, burning.
But hey, Islander fans, guess what? What's John won since he went to Toronto? One playoff series. That's it.
That's it.
Not even a cup.
Nothing.
One playoff series.
So why are you guys, riding him so hard? He's got nothing.
The Stanley Cup from the store.
So he went to be punished, and he went to Toronto,
and that's what happened.
And he's been punished for what?
That thing I sent
6 years now.
That thing I sent you. That guy, you would act like Tavares left like yesterday. I was like, well, Tavares got traded when he left.
It's been 5-6 years ago.
And that guy was going at it. That's how fanatics.
Yeah, man.
That's your diehard Islander fan. Now remember, in the 80s, you had those dynasties and all those great players. So that's kind of the thing, though. That's where you get that kind of fan base. So think about what Tampa's doing or did, and look what Florida's doing. Like if Florida could win another cup or two in the next couple years, all those kids, between 6 and 15 or whatever, that's going to be your fan base.
And more hockey rinks down here,
and that's going to get the passion into those cities for their teams. And then when they get old enough, have kids or whatever, and pass it on to them, that's where you kind of build that. But moving to these areas like in the South or whatever, even like Carolina, they won 06, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you go to a playoff game at that place, I highly recommend it.
Question, Dan. I'm sorry before we get off hockey. Utah. The team in Utah. They're playing now, right?
They're playing somebody, I think.
What's the fan,
Calgary. They're playing Calgary.
What's the fan thing? Are people really behind it, or is it, what's it look like as far as the fans and?
Every time I see a game from there, like they kind of got the Brooklyn thing going because they're playing in the Jazz arena.
Yeah.
And it's not meant for hockey, so
so it looks a little funny, but
it looks a little different than your normal hockey arena. But I'll say this: they got probably some of the best seats. Mm-hmm. That I'd be willing to throw money down to watch a game. It's right at the face-off dot, and it's kind of a wonky section to where they push the other seats back, and this one's just kind of hanging like midway up the glass, so you're like up in the netting kind of view. but you're literally like almost on top of the face-off circle. And I guarantee you, whoever sits in those seats, you can hear those guys chirping all night long, talking shit to each other.
Wow.
So like you get, because like if you're behind the glass, it's hard to hear anything that's being said, on the ice, other than you might hear someone like give a big like yell for a puck, like hey, something like that.
Right.
But when they're talking junk, you really can't hear a whole lot of that. But if you get up above that glass, like that section.
Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering how, what I figured the reception would be good. I figured folks would like them. They got a pretty good team. That's moving over there, so it's already, ready-made team. Like what the fans, the response was, and where the game's packed out, all those things. I wanted to know, kind of,
I'll say this about Utah, and that when they were in Phoenix, they would always get good draft picks and whatnot.
Right.
But they would bury, everybody's contract in the league that was hurt, so they could get to the cap floor.
Right.
But the dude that owns the Jazz owns this team as well.
Right.
Is it Smith? I think his name is.
I don't know who he is.
But I saw a bunch of stuff when they were doing like the unveiling and all that kind of stuff. And like that family is 100% in on hockey in Utah. And they want to make, like, I know they probably want to build a new arena for both the Jazz and the Utah, the hockey team. But they want it to be more of like a destination point, like where you go into downtown and you go to a game, you go to restaurants, go shopping, whatever.
Right.
And he wants to make it, entertainment for the crowd, the fans that come.
Right.
Just not the game. You get more than a game, kind of like what Vegas is doing.
An experience.
Experience, something similar to that. So,
and that's what most of these new arenas and new projects they're doing.
Right.
They're doing it where, like you said, they're doing like a destination thing.
But this guy wants to win. So, like all these contract dumps they take of players that that can't play, like Shea Weber, I think they took on his contract, just to get the money on the books to get to the floor. But he's going to actually spend money, get players in there. They got a really good team as far as young players. Like they got Clayton Keller, Logan Cooley, Dylan Guthier, Nick Schmaltz, Bukestad, Ole Mata, Sergachev, Ian Cole. Like they brought it in Bertuzzo. Like this is like the Penguins West. Like Bertuzzo, Cole, Mata, Bukestad, they all played in Pittsburgh at one point. But they're filling in the roster spots with quality players. Like they got a really good defensive team on paper here. And I would look for, as time goes on, like this is their first season. And where are they at in the standings? All right, so they got 38 points. They're 16, 15, and 6 overtime losses. So they're like middle of the road, like 500 team, which, usually they were at the bottom when they were in Phoenix. So it's going to take them time, some drafts and stuff like that to get some more players in there, or make deals at the trade deadline to bring in a player or two to get them over the hump once they get to that point. But the future is very bright in Utah. I'm waiting to see what they actually name this team, because this is this. Oh. Yeah, well, this is this temporary. That's the college team.
Utes.
I hope they name him the Yeti.
The Yetis. That's what they said they was going to do.
That, because that would be a cool emblem and stuff that they could do. Yeah. And you got the mascot, all that stuff, the marketing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I did see where they had a thing where it's like, if you bought two tickets, two $10 tickets or whatever, then you got like a hot dog and a soda to go with it. And then if you spent like $30 or $40, then you got something a little bit more. So it's like they're incentivizing people to come.
Right.
And it'll take them a little bit of time, but I think in the future that's going to be a destination that players would really like to play. Just because you have all the winter sports in the winter, you got the mountains and all that. So I think they'll be all right. And I think they're in good hands with the owner they got.
All right, I'm really glad to hear that. So
I
knew they were there and I knew they were starting, but I just didn't know how the fan reaction and what the gate looked like every night, so forth. You know what I mean? Like the business part of it. So
yeah, they'll be all right. They'll be all right.
Gotcha. That's all you got for us, Dan?
Yep.
He is Dan, the hockey dude. So Ryan, we up with Ryan.
What up?
Ryan.
Ryan, what up?
I got a request.
Yeah.
Can we please start off with Mike Brown and the whole Sacramento Kings thing?
Yeah.
Please. What's your take on that? Now mine has changed. I've been reading some stuff, but go ahead. Let me see what you got there, sir.
Well, my take on it is right when you have expectations, you better meet expectations. All right. So even though he's 2 years ago he won Coach of the Year, he was coming off. Well, I think they were a 4th seed or a 3 seed in the Western Conference. They ultimately lost in Game 7 to Golden State. So it was so now you have to build on that, right? And it's still a players' league. He doesn't have the cachet of Eric Spoelstra, of Greg Popovich, a Steve Kerr. He doesn't have that cachet. So when you piss off your star players, this is what happens when you're losing. See, when you're winning, that cures everything. You don't hear stuff when about a team, all the the ins and outs and the turmoil and the drama when you're winning. It's only when you lose and stuff come out because they weren't to come out. Right?
It reminds me of the Rangers. Go ahead.
So I don't know if you witnessed a couple of Mike Brown's press conferences.
I did.
He's been a little bit like on edge, and I get it. They're struggling. You know what I'm saying? Probably what he's saying, they're not doing it on the court. So he's reiterating. Like one press conference, he said we gotta just. He used a word like 20 straight. I forgot what word it was. Man, he used a word like 25 straight times in the interview.
Let me see if I can find it.
So it looked like he was kind of mocking the team, right? So like you're not listening. It made the team look like they were dumb, right? And again, when you're losing, and your team is supposed to be an offensive threat, and you're not scoring the way you're scoring, and then your defense was never really on par with the best defenses in the league. And then the West is brutal. It's like 12 teams, almost 500 in the West. So when you're on a 5-game losing streak, right? And the warts of your team just comes out. And then he doubled down on the press conference, right? So for their 5th straight loss, I believe,
Ryan, real quick.
Yeah.
He used the word possession 26 times.
Possession.
Yes.
26 straight times, guys.
Yeah.
And so it was just the optics just did not look right. That looked like a coach losing the locker room from back then. Right. And then the losses kept mounting. And then what happened was they had no business losing a lead. I forgot what the team was, but De'Aaron Fox ended up fouling. They're up 3. They're up 3. The other team has the ball up 3. You can foul, but you have to foul and not give up the 3-point shot. The guy hit a 3. Oh, it was Detroit. It was Jaden Ivey. And shout out to Jaden Ivey, man. Horrific injury. He broke his leg. So shout out to Ivey, man. Get back soon. Jaden Ivey was having an awesome season. Detroit's taking a step, and just very unfortunate to lose Jaden Ivey. So I want to shout out Jaden Ivey. So Jaden Ivey, getting back to the game, Jaden Ivey gets lost in the corner, and it was De'Aaron Fox's guy. He made a hard cut, to defend the 3. Pump fake. De'Aaron Fox fouls him. 3-point play. Hits the free throw. They lose the game. So this is where I think he got fired. Because he's basically threw the whole team under the bus and said, we told them, do this, do that, do that. We told them. I don't know why, we are doing hard closeouts. And so
he said, why are we closing out? We should be playing close defense.
Correct. Right. And what he's saying is not wrong. But you have to know the temperament of the team, the temperament of the owner, the temperament of the fan base. You've already went on this tirade with the whole possessions for 26, mentioning that. So that wasn't a good look. And then he basically said, he talked to them like, okay, I told them so. It's not on me. It's on them. Right? And he's right. But there's optics. You know what I'm saying? You're on a 5-game losing streak. They're already not listening to you. And then he basically blamed Fox, which it was Fox's fault. But a coach needs to know the temperature of the state of the team, especially at a press conference. Scale it back a little bit. Nah, he went threw them under the bus, and whether he was right or wrong, he still threw them under the bus. He could have protected his players and kind of soften the blow a little bit, but he went full board with his assessment, and he doesn't have that cachet, especially when you're on a 5-game losing streak, right? And you're not even in the playoff. You're not even in the play-in in the West right now. You're not even in there, and you went at the star player on the team who's gonna be in a contract year. So now, and there were always some saying about some turmoil. Fox came and denied it, that there wasn't any turmoil. So, so I don't know if he's trying to, just
calm it down.
He got fired. And they didn't want to fire him until he doubled down again in the morning press conference. Yes. And still threw the team under the bus. I'm like, okay, dude, are you trying to get fired? And then on the way to the airport or something like that, they're like, okay, no.
We had enough.
We had enough. He doubled down 3 times, and we all know, man, this is a players' league. Unless you have the cachet of those 3 coaches I said, Eric Spoelstra, the Steve Kerrs, the Greg Popovich, who's not coaching right now because of the health issues. We see it in Miami. Jimmy Butler's a star player, but
Guess what?
Spoelstra run that. Riley runs that.
Jimmy's going before.
Correct. Listen. The pecking order in Miami is Riley and the coaches, and Spoelstra. Even when LeBron was there in his prime, they didn't bend for LeBron. They're like, nah, man, no, we don't do that here. So that's why he got fired, Kevin. In my opinion, he just doubled down, kept doubling down. He could have softened the blow with the whole thing. He basically embarrassed his team with these press conferences. Basically, what he did.
So I was going to say yes, that last press conference, because at first, I was like, Mike Brown. I said, and then I was like, okay, he's holding them accountable.
Absolutely.
But like you said, this, sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And the NBA, as we know it, whether you like it or not, it's a players' league, and they're absolutely the players. They walk to a little bit different of a beat. And like you said, that last press conference, I was like, you know what, Mike Brown, you wanted, I guess you wanted an unemployment check. I don't know, man, because you just wanted. I just had it on the screen. He was the first time unanimous. First coach to ever win the Coach of the Year award. So like I said, Sacramento was turning it into the right way. How they, like you said, with the talent that they got, man. But I don't know.
But with expectations comes, and then not only that, then you went out and got DeRozan, and you upgraded from DeRozan. You got him, and And I always thought that wasn't a good fit. DeRozan's a mid-range ISO guy. They play free flowing. Because remember he's coming from Golden State. Mm-hmm. So they incorporated that kind of flow. So they thought they were getting an upgrade from Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes goes on to San Antonio, where they even have a better record than Sacramento. So with the expectations, and we've seen this before in the NBA, where the coach of the year gets fired after like 2 years. It happened to Sam Mitchell with Toronto. It's happened a lot. So everybody's it's a running joke in the league. I don't want to win coach of the year because that means I'm going to get fired soon. So it's a running joke in the league. But that's why he, like you said, Kev, that's why he got fired. He just went out and just, okay, you hold your team accountable one time, you throw them on the bus, but he kept double down. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he got 2 aces and then he hit. You know what I'm saying? He just kept doing. I'm like,
split him.
Yes, he was just I'm like, Mike, stop. But and
$2,000 gone.
Yeah, so that's it, man.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And and just to comment about the standings, we have like a lot of big win streaks going on right now. Like the Cavs right now, they're on an 8-game winning streak. Also all the top teams in the league, right, are pretty much balling right now. The Knicks are on a 9-game winning streak. OKC Thunder on a 12-game winning streak. So the top teams are really, really, pulling away from the pack. So and then the other side of the spectrum, you have the bottom teams, right? Who are in the sweepstakes for the Cooper Flags, the Ace Baileys, the Ron Harper Juniors. You know what I'm saying? So that seemed like one of the top 5 picks right there. So you have the Pelicans, who are just. It seems like every year it's just a one big injury mash unit for the Pelicans, man. They still can't figure out this Zion Williamson thing. They look like they're going to end up trading Brandon Ingram. It's going to be a fire sale there. CJ McCollum's going to be on the trade block. So look out for CJ McCollum to probably get traded to Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and reunite him with Dame over there because they need another shooter because Middleton's getting a little bit older. They're starting a role player basically in the starting unit who can shoot. But yeah, they're gonna need an upgrade in order to compete with the likes of Cleveland, Boston, the Knicks, who are balling. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so we have those like the Pelicans, the Wizards, Jazz, Hornets, Raptors. They're all vying for at least getting a top 3 pick. You get a top 3 pick in this draft, you know what I'm saying? You have a nice piece, like I said, with the Ace Baileys, Cooper Flags, and the Ron Harper Jr. So yeah, so that as far as the standing go, the top teams are really pushing and making a claim, saying, hey, we want to be the ones with home court or what have you. They're really playing great ball. That's the Cleveland. That's OKC. That's the Knicks. Boston is still right there in the top 4. So yeah, so those look like the best teams right now in the league.
Hey, real quick question before I just want to look at the New Orleans Pelicans are 5-29.
Pelicans are 5-29. They have the worst record in the league, my friend.
What's the deal with Zion Williamson? Is it safe to say that this has been a disaster?
He's injury prone. At this point, you have to say he's injury prone. They try to blame it on the weight. He actually lost a bunch of weight coming into the season.
They try to blame it on the city and the beignets. What?
Right. No, I mean, just it. I mean, like he came into the league relatively young. He was 19.
Got it.
But I always said, and I know I said this plenty of times with him.
Yeah.
Everything can't be a power move to the basket.
Right.
At your size, you have to put some finesse to your game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It can't be a power dunk off 2 legs and you coming down. Every move can't be just you trying to Hulk somebody. It's like a bull in China shop every possession with him.
You got to develop something else to your game.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why I believe he can't stay healthy. Yes, his size, but he lost weight.
He did. He put an effort into. And I'm not trying to clown him.
Right?
But
No, exactly.
I just think that there's something going. He's underachieving and is not living up to the.
And D-Dub, it's not that he's even underachieving because when he plays, he's awesome.
He makes a difference.
Plays. Like when he plays, he gives you everything. But it's just that his style of play, and at this point, he's injury prone.
Yeah,
he's just injury prone. Like there's no, he doesn't, and if he gets hurt, he's out for a month. It's not like I can get hurt, miss a game or 2, and come back. And then you know what I'm saying? Like it's always, we've got to play it, play it safe with him and this and that. It's time to take the training wheels off. Either you're gonna play or you're not gonna play. So so that's the biggest problem. They didn't sign Ingram. They didn't give him an extension, so he's mad. So he's probably up out of there. And at that point, if you get rid of Zion and Ingram, there's no need to keep McCollum. You know what I'm saying? They just traded for the point guard in the with Atlanta. Murray. They traded for Murray. And they gave up probably one of the best defensive players in the league. So that might have been a misread. And they traded Daniels.
What you're really trying to say is that the NBA needs to get New Orleans out of that city because
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm doing too much. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they gotta you gotta relocate the city because the fans show up. I mean,
well, Ryan, hold on, Ryan. I'm gonna push back. I was just in the city back here in November. Every time I got in the Uber and I talked to some of the people because I love sports. I would say out of the 9 out of the 10 people, they cared, of course, about the Saints. They love the Saints, but the Pelicans was they're there. We're here, whatever. But I'm not like you. I'm not like we got to move them tomorrow. No,
he's not like D-Dub.
Okay. All right, Kev, D-Dubs. You guys are Knicks fans, right?
Yeah.
How many times have I said to you guys, the Knicks fans are the most loyal fans on the face of the earth?
You have said that, yes.
You know what? You're right. Yeah.
You guys will root for if they go on a 2-game winning streak, you think they're gonna win the championship. You guys root for your team.
Same with the Giants.
Right. Correct. No, it's
Rangers.
Exactly. It's
Yankees.
Shut up, Dan.
You guys are the best fans. You guys are not fair with you might get upset and be hurt sometimes, but you ride or die with your squad. And I appreciate that. When it comes to Knicks fans, the Pelicans are 5-29, fellas.
Yeah.
They have the worst record in the league. Of course, whoever you talk to, when they got Zion, man, it was hype. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I had one Uber job when I was there.
Yeah.
I was in New Orleans, like I said, beginning of October, November, and he was saying, "Yo, when Zion got here, it was sold out all the time. There was hype.
Right. Yeah, it's
call it." And
you're 5-29. You're 5-29, bro.
You're not. You're not.
Nah, like when the Knicks are 5-29.
Yo, fam.
Oh no, we still go.
Madison Square Garden is still packed.
We still go. We still go to 7th Avenue and 31st and 33rd Streets. Yes.
So much respect to you guys, man. So you know what I'm saying? So you saying that, D-Dubs and Kevin, I can't, you know what I'm saying? Because of your fandom, I cannot accept what y'all said about
Ryan gave us perspective. He gave us perspective. Like, wait a minute.
All right, Ryan. Yeah, you got it. All right.
Yeah,
I just,
man. But
thought maybe I'm just, but man, get well, Zion. Get well, because you guys are awful watching you guys. I mean, 5-29. I refuse.
Yeah, and
sorry,
again,
CJ
man,
McCollum. Please get you out of there because.
And to be honest with you, right? Even though Zion's out, Ingram's out. I mean, you still got quality players there, man. Murray, McCollum. You still got players. They shouldn't be losing this much. Still. No. So I just hope the coach. He's a good young coach. I hope he doesn't get the blame for it, but he will. And because I know Dan always says this too. You can't trade or fire the whole team. So it's the coach. You know what I'm saying? So and we saw that with Mike Brown, man. So yeah, the Pelicans, they just got to get it together, man. And it's kind of like it kind of sucks for them too, right? Because when they won the sweepstakes for Zion, I remember it was the Knicks wanted him. I mean, everybody thought he was going to the Knicks. You guys had the worst record that year. Yep. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they end up getting Zion, man. So for them to
we duck him.
Yeah, you got a blessing there, bro.
Correct. So exactly. So
you'd be 5-29.
Right.
Yeah.
So
gracious.
And to come full circles in just like 5 years, it's sad, man. Like, yeah. So yeah.
Depending on who you're asking. Yeah, it's sad for y'all.
But and again too, man. And ever since after Christmas, I don't know what happened with the league. But it's fights going on every 2 minutes. Everybody fighting and.
Speaking of fights, right? Your main man. What's his name? Amen.
Oh, Amen. Oh,
yo, Amen. Man, he didn't have to do Tyler Hero like that, man.
No, the thing is, because Amen came out and said he's like, I didn't even try to do him like that. It's just I thought he was, have some resistance. They holding on to each other. He just kind of,
Hey, it was no resistance. Yo, Tyler Hero. I thought Tyler Hero was a rag doll. I thought he was a doll.
That was a newspaper. He just set that thing right down on the ground.
Let me just say this. But to what Ryan always says about us, and I said, I've been chirping in the chat. I said, I am glad Amen threw Tyler Hero. We're finally getting some fire, some fights and stuff. I mean, I don't want boxing. Of course, I want some.
Nobody threw a punch. Nobody threw a punch.
I'm cool with it. They ejected the referees had control of it. They ejected everybody who needed to be ejected.
And Coach Ime Udoka, right? So he loves this stuff.
Yes, he does.
Oh yeah, he talks shit.
He's enforcing, like, he doesn't want you to play dirty, but there's no punking the Rockets, or they're gonna.
No, he wants you to have an edge, though.
Yeah. But he did come out and say we have to play with that edge and that force, but still have the IQ behind it, and that's what they're lacking right now, is having the IQ behind it, knowing the when and where. Because Dylan Brooks gets it happens to him a lot. Where look, there's a time and place and when to do it. You know what I mean? So like definitely, man. Like teams, that is not going to be buddy with you is the Rockets. Orlando plays tough. And like for what Orlando's still doing, they lost some close games recently, but man, to still be where they are in the standings, losing your two best players in Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero, and losing Mo Wagner, the brother to a torn knee ACL. So he's out. For them to still be competing, that's coaching, man. That's coaching. So where, yes, the league has got soft, and then it's a buddy league. Now you're seeing teams like, we're gonna hang our hats on the defensive end, and we're gonna get after it. So there's teams out there like that, man. So it's not just
jersey swapping tonight.
Right. Exactly. So. And so that's what we got, man. We got heated battles going on, man, and some low score. The score is starting to come down a little bit too, just like last year, man. Like after Christmas after Christmas, after the All-Star game. After the All-Star game, you can tell refs was swallowing their whistles, man. No. We ain't saying, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to play through that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So. We'll see what happens, man. But yeah, it's getting feisty out there. So that's good. That's good to see.
Yes, absolutely. What else you got for us, man, before we get out of here?
That's about it, bro. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we just the top teams on these long winning streaks, Cleveland's, New York, they're OKC, and they're just trying to make a statement. They're trying to make a statement, and they're bringing it every night. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them, man. So yeah.
Good, ladies and gentlemen. He's Ryan D'Souza with the NBA. Great show tonight. Great show tonight. I know we ran a little bit over. We went like a half an hour over, but that's fine. That's good. Commercial free. I know what it is. We had the spirit to talk about college football, which we talk about, and I love it. And we went down hockey and talked a little bit NFL and here with the NBA. DA had to go, man, but great spirited show. Love it. Love this. Love the guys. Love what we do. Party shots. We'll start with the hockey dude. Dan, what you got for us before we get out of here, sir?
Nothing. Just shout out to Mikey and E. Sorry we missed you guys tonight. Hey, the Rags 2-1.
We won. The Rangers won.
2 points. Hey, here we go. Playoff. No, wait. How's that go? Oh, we're winning the Stanley Cup this year now. Everybody be safe. Have a good night.
That's supposed to be the goal. I don't know what that was. Go ahead.
Sound like
I know what that sounds like.
Star Wars or something. Yeah. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, man.
That's all you got, Dan?
Oh, that's all I got.
Thank you.
Congrats to your Rangers.
Shut up, Dan.
Eastern Conference Final. Here we come.
He does what you got. You done changed hats. You had Minnesota on earlier. Now you got the Lions.
The reason why, man, that's going to be a fire game. Yo, I don't know how the NFL got this right, but they got Minnesota at Detroit, 8:00 game, NBC.
They flexed it.
They flexed
NBC Peacock.
Hell no, it better not be on no damn streaming.
Yo, wait a minute.
This game is on regular NBC. It's an 8:00 game. It's an 8:00.
Oh, maybe it's saying NBC and Peacock.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Like that, yeah. Nonetheless, that's going to be a fire game. 2 teams, 14-2. This is going to be. It's a shame that one of these teams is going to lose and end up at a 5 seed. So we'll look into that. Talk about that.
Crazy. Yes.
Yeah, which is crazy. I've been thinking about we need to make some changes to that. If your team has not won 9 games, you just don't make it, man. I think we got the NFC South is. I think we got 9 game winners there, and the NFC West is probably the 2 worst divisions. That probably I can see.
If you don't win your division, you don't get it.
Yeah, I can see like none of them winning it, but that's a whole nother topic. But that's going to be a good game. Minnesota, Detroit, and what else we got? We got Denver, Kansas City. Denver needs a win to get in. I think a couple other games that's everybody else is probably going to be resting. Green Bay, Chicago. That's nothing. Yeah, everything else other than that, I don't see nothing.
You got the big 2 games in the AFC North. Baltimore's got to beat Cleveland to win the division.
Cincinnati.
Thank you. And Cincinnati can still get
Cincinnati beats Pittsburgh. They can get in.
So it should be even though it's the last game of the season, it should be pretty good. A lot of games that it could go either way and get people in or back in or whatever the case is. But that's all I got. Everybody have a good night.
Appreciate you. What you got for us, Ryan?
Oh, just another great show with the Sports Chasers. Hey, just everybody be safe. We'll see you again. Like I said, got the big game on Sunday, and I think we have a game to watch for the week. OKC and New York Knicks. I think that game is
gonna be good.
That game is on Friday. That's gonna make me see what the Knicks, obviously the Knicks are for real, but that's a litmus test right there. That's going to be a clash because the Knicks have been beaten on some lower competition. But I will say this: that's a sign of a great team when you beat who you're supposed to beat.
True that.
There's no letdown.
I read something. I've read somewhere today where they're coming up with their hardest part of the schedule. Where they're coming up. Yeah, I forgot what. But the next month or so is going to be very, very hard for the Knicks.
Yeah, because they're on a long winning streak, but they played the Pelicans twice, the Wizards twice. They played Utah, so they caught like a a break in the schedule. But like I said, they handled their business, and that's a sign of a great team is handling your business when you're supposed to handle your business. So OKC, New York, that's gonna be a game. I believe that game is Friday. I think that game is tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow night, 8:00.
Yeah.
OKC, New York tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, they got the Bucks on Sunday, Pistons on Monday, 76ers on Wednesday, Timberwolves, Hawks, Nets. I don't know about the Knicks and the Kings.
Yeah,
Grizzlies and that's what they got.
Yeah.
So
so nah, man. So that's it, man. Fellas, always a good time seeing you guys. Man. We'll see you again soon.
Oh yeah, we got Unrivaled coming up too.
Yes, that's gonna be what
couple weeks,
yeah, in Miami.
Yep,
in Miami.
So
that should be fun.
Yep. The Rivals starting up. I don't have nothing heavy. We missed the Angry One and Mike Mills tonight. The DA had to run. Thank you guys for doing what we do, man. Thank you for all those that's in the chat tonight, man. Appreciate y'all, all those that came in and chimed in. Thank you guys for watching, whether you're on X, Facebook, Instagram. I don't think we was on Instagram tonight, Twitch. Hey, I said something earlier, and it might have been funny, and that's my part shot real quick. I said earlier, hey, Jay Feely said something about targeting, right? And D Dubs put in the chat. He said, hey, man, that was me just actually saying what he said. So that wasn't actually Jay Feely, the quarterback.
Yeah, it's not Jay Feely, man. I mean,
he's checking this out. Yeah.
He was excited. Like,
hey, we'll roll with it, man. We'll roll with
it, man. Yo, Jay Feely, shout out to Jay Feely.
Yeah, man. Hit us up, Jay.
Hey, yeah.
We want to talk more about targeting.
Yeah, we'll talk more because Jay Feely, I think he was upset about that, man. He definitely was upset. He thought he was targeting Ryan. So talk to Jay Feely.
No, he's a kicker. All right, so
this way I forgot he's a kicker. Yeah,
yes, he is a kicker, but he
only be mentioning no targeting. He ain't never been targeted.
Man.
Oh, I was thinking about Jay Cutler. That's what I was thinking about. Jay.
Not Jay Cutler, but shout out to Jay Cutler, man. We definitely because I want to talk to him about that playoff game. But yeah, shout out to Cutler.
Listen, before this goes off the tracks, listen, y'all have a great weekend. Listen, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin O'Warren, your host and moderator, for Dan K, the hockey dude, for Daryl D. Dubs Warren, and for Ryan D'Souza, also for the DA in his absence as he had to leave, and also for Mike Mills and James, the Angry One, Warren in their absence. Yo, this is the Sports Chasers podcast, man. Y'all be good, be great. Yo, we'll check y'all out on Monday night. Y'all know what it is for the Monday Night Blitz. We'll talk about some more football and see what happens in the Lions and Minnesota game. Y'all have a great weekend. Take care. Peace.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Sports Chasers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms and connect with us on all social media channels for exclusive content and updates. We'd also love for you to join the conversation, share your thoughts, and become part of the Sports Chasers community. And remember to tune in next time for some more real sports talk. Until then, stay frosty.